Welcome to Gold's Gardens and Health Tips. I am going to give the chickies some scratch, and then we're going to talk about what we did to convert our winter chicken setup to spring and summer. All right, chickie girls, got a little treat for you. Got a little treat for you. Oh, you know who's missing out here? Lilac's not out here. Hey, girls. All right, here you go. Like to give them some scratch in the morning. They just look forward to it, and it gives them something to do, to scratch around. It's kind of their excitement of the day. I also bring out some vegetables for them. I got to get Lilac out of here. Hey, Lilac. So Lilac has kind of been doing a semi-broody thing. She gets up in the morning, she goes out and she sits on that table out there and she kind of squawks a little bit. And then unfortunately, she makes her way back. She does go out and eat a little bit, and then she makes her way back in here and sits. And if there's a pile of eggs, she'll sit on a pile of eggs. So, but she's not like when Daisy did this last year. Daisy wouldn't leave. And I can take Lilac out and she'll stay out now for a while. So I'm just kind of doing it that way right now. If it gets to be extreme like Daisy was last year where she wouldn't leave the nest, then I'll take another measure. But now I've just put her out here so she can go peck into some of the scratch too. Okay, so converting our chicken winter to spring and summer, we finally got it done. Working on that too. First thing is we had plastic in here. We had plastic across here, and we had the plastic tent that went over here. And so we took that down, we saved it. It was all in really good condition. The plastic was not torn or anything. I just hosed it off, and we'll be saving that for next fall. It worked out super good. The only thing that didn't work out good was I was going to kind of remove that to change water and stuff like that, and that was just too much of an ordeal when it got to be winter. So next year I'm going to take the water and I'm going to move it over here in the fall and put the heater under it so that I can just access it from right here. But that was the only thing. Otherwise it worked out great. They loved going in that little tent area. We have their sandbox over here that they can take a dust bath in. And so I've cleaned that out this spring and put some more sand in there, and then I put some of my First Saturday lime in there because that helps them with their mites and stuff too. So the other thing was we had the plastic on the tent right here, and they really like that in the winter too, to go in there. I'll put their food in there when it's drippy and rainy or whatever. And so all we do in the spring is we take that plastic off, and that plastic was also in really good condition, so I saved that for next winter. And then this is a shade cloth, and I believe this is like a 80 to 90% shade cloth. Put that on, just use some zip ties and some bungees to hold that on. And so now they use this in the summer if it's raining or if it's hot. And if it's raining, I'll just put their food in there for the day, and they go in and pluck it in there, and that way I don't have to take a chance on it getting wet. So that worked out really good. And then the other thing I do in the spring is clean everything out thoroughly, just like I do the goat barn. So I take out all the bedding. All right. The coop is clean. Clean as can be. Not perfect, but a lot better than it was. And the girls were pretty upset about this. So, right, girl? I know it. It was very stressful. Me in here while you guys are trying to lay eggs, doing cleaning. But now we're just going to get it all put back together for you. Then we're going to leave you in peace. So anyways, this is just so easy to keep clean. We put that vinyl flooring on the bottom, and I scrubbed off the doors here. They were kind of really dirty from the winter and everything. So now I'm just going to go get some lime and put down, and I'm going to put the bedding down, put their food and water back in, and just leave them alone because they have been quite flustered. So anyways, that's what it looks like when it's all cleaned out. And I guess I don't know if you call it bedding in a chicken thing, but I take out all of that bedding. It was down to, because it took me so long to get this done this spring, to a pretty thin coating in there because I just kept taking it out in the spring and not replenishing it all. And so it wasn't that big of a deal to take that out. I just used a scoop, like a dustpan scoop, and scoop it into my wheelbarrow and take that out. And then I wipe down the vinyl underneath. It just works out so well that we put that vinyl underneath it. And then the perches, I take a bucket of like vinegar water and I scrub those, rinse those off. And this perch works out really nice because I can take it out and scrub that off. If there was one improvement I guess I would make is that our main perch would be removable like this, because it is really nice to just take this out and scrape it down and take the hose and scrub it off. Because that's where they, you know, you get some doo-doo on there and then underneath it, it's not like they're going all over the place in there. So that works out really good. So anyways, I got those all cleaned out, and then I put down 7 bags of our bedding that I put in here, that Marth pellets of the aspen pellets. I really like that. It stays in pellets over here because they don't really scratch around that much. And then underneath is where I'm scraping it out, and then I just sweep some of this over there, and I'll add a bag when needed, but this works out like super good. It stays nice and clean. So got the heat plates all wiped off. I'm not going to take them out. We'll just leave them for next winter, but I got them all wiped down as well. And then the water, I had converted from, you know, the traditional water fountain type systems to using this bowl over the winter. I had a heat plate underneath it, which worked out really well. And I'm just going to stay with the bowls. They are just so much easier to keep clean. So I've got a bowl here and a bowl here that was on a heat plate for the winter. And then over on the other, underneath that table, I've got another bowl, which now that stays sheltered under the shade and sheltered from the rain. And that works out really good. So that's kind of my water system for the winter into the summer. We're just sticking with the bowls. Anyways, so they're all nice and cleaned out. The other little addition that I added was these cute little oyster shell and grit things that I bought online. They are so cute, and the gal that makes them, I believe I bought them through Amazon, and you can take this cover off and fill them up. There's holes in the bottom that will help to drain water if they get rained on. So we just added those, and I put them up high enough so hopefully they're not scratching grit into them. That was always a problem before. And then the other addition I put in for this summer was some more perches for them. These are just some trees that we trimmed, and we put those perches in here for them. And then I got these handy little, cute little risers for their food. They're metal. They're pretty cute. Those were off Amazon as well. And that just gets their food up a little bit more again, so that I'm not always getting the scratching of the wood chips that gets in their food. The other thing we had to do in the spring is, like, you can see how they're scratching away and everything, and then you've got, this is a little bit of a slope here, and so they tend to scratch everything down the other direction. That's why you put these bricks up here to kind of hold it up here. And then in the spring, most of their bedding was down underneath the coop. It had made its way down there, so we had to, Bob actually put it in wheelbarrows and hauled it on up here, and he just put a big pile up here, and then the chickens scratched it all and got it all out. So about once a week I just have to rake some of the wood chips up this way and some of these wood chips up that way, just to even them out. But the wood chips have worked out super good for keeping it cleaner and non-stinky in here. It really helps. I do pick up the big blobs in the morning, but it really does make a difference. So we'll probably get some more wood chips later on this summer. Anyways, that is our conversion from winter to spring and summer for the chickens. And we'll just let them enjoy summer just like we will. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.